Alright, so clearly this year is not a good year for the National Democratic Congress. We share the beginning of the year. It has been death hammering on the door of the National Democratic Congress. Now, beginning of the year, the New Patriotic Party had their own fair share of all of these atrocities. I'm talking about NSC Akumi, who died at the age of 40 years. And now, we'll come back to that issue in our subsequent life. But then, we can say, one person have also joined the bandwagon of people who are also losing their lives. People of top ranks in the National Democratic Congress. So news are able confirmed patches say this particular man only picture on the screens or a top NDC communicator. Menoka say he is dead. Now the circumstances surrounding this man's death are so bizarre. In fact, the way NDC from the helicopter crash to various atrocities number player in the picture we screen say the different Nicholas Akolobotu or Angloni and also Igbeni now or the National Democratic Congress communication officer. Just recently, he has been tasked to be an evaluation officer for the National Health Insurance Scheme. Menoka say now this whole incident I'm a man for I said what is really happening in the National Democratic Congress. Now 2 days ago information by because 2 days ago grandma Kwechi and December 5th 2025 Friday information by say Accident be voter region, particularly BBFN Adakulu. Now accident it involved 3 motorbikes. Now, 3 motorbikes now, accidents is involved in one person and also count sadly. This particular man, Nicholas Akolobotu, also account. Now, that's the need you see any day. It was gory, it was sad, but then ultimately people will have survived. But then one of the people are now, accident and also kuta the motorbike. Ni motorbike wato fuel which is petrol and or there to echi onse okwe krasi enye bibia na obenya fuel station even fuel station no kro mo no ebi mu kra buto tank mu ana barrel mu wati ase nti okwa na odu a certain juncture na omebu local one omebu the same fuel na omebu no dia ma even Accra has a crowd. We see say some people have it omuyema diesel and also a friend is a petrol. It's some people for the fact say obekọ a long distance now petrol asa na unya filling station obi am betwem no ubeja moto ni si na a very long process, so they carry an extra fuel at their back just in case of emergency. In the accident ni see one of these people had an extra fuel at the back of the motorbike. In the accident ni see impact ena engineer the other no a boom sound and ignite a saw petrol boom all of a sudden people died, and one of the people who here in this particular accident this particular man and a picture at our screens. So now for context we'll put these things on the screens because people are mourning him, and definitely this is a very sad turn of events. Apparently also say or motorbike needs to be one of the motorbikes. We don't know if he was driving and as a Sebu Abia now or your passenger. Regardless, this is the information the Eba. Now let's put this on the screen. Say we are near poster Eba in regards to this and how even this issue a very sad issue. We also have a video of the last event or call here just 24 hours before his death. We share the whole screen. So say NDC communicator officer dies in fiery motorbike crash. Nicholas Akolobotu, a National Democratic Congress communication officer who has recently been appointed as a regional monitoring and evaluation officer for the National Health Insurance Scheme, has died in an accident at Adaklu. Now, it further goes on to say, according to multiple reports online, the accident occurred on Friday, yesterday, December 15, 2025. He was reportedly on his way to spend the weekend with his family in Sugakofe when sadly he ended up in a motorbike accident. He was part of a collision that involved 3 motorbikes during the crash. One of the bikes was said to be carrying an extra fuel in a container along with passenger. The impact caused the fuel to spill and ignite, leading to a fiery fire. Sadly, he was involved in a severe motorbike incident that included 3 other bikes. During the crash, one of the motorbike cycles was carrying an extra fuel with a passenger. This extra fuel ignited, causing a fire. The resulting blaze completely destroyed Honorable Akolobotu's bike, burning it beyond recognition. Tragically, one other person died at the scene too of the accident. The unfortunate accident took place around Adaklu, a post by Sugakope Updates on Saturday, December 3rd, 2025. So, as we are saying, this is the circumstances which led to the unfortunate demise of this particular man. We don't know what is really happening in the National Democratic Congress, but we need too much. I know so biabehu, but the death in here is just too much. People are dying day in, day out, and then we are so saddened by this particular turn of events. But regardless, and we are learning that he was very close with a now Gold Boss CEO Sami Jimfi. So in pictures, you realize that at a particular point in time, he was spotted with Sami Jimfi. Now, as I told you, now His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Okoye event. This man was there. Doing his official duties as an NDC communication officer, and this was the last ever video we saw of him. This was the last ever video we saw of him before his untimely demise. Now we have a preview of this particular video. I share the last moment in regards with this man and even the way forward now, because in some ways he say, I remember I said Mahama met him just 24 hours ago. And less than 24 hours ago, he is dead. So we are just waiting. In a moment, we will be playing the video. And as I said earlier on, this is the last video of this particular man when he was spotted alive. And he just joins the many people. So this is the picture. This is the man we are talking about. Because we are learning to say he was very close friends and close with Sami Jimfi. In fact, many radio stations are more friend or pandits we have the video here in question of the last time this particular man was spotted. Unfortunately, he is dead. So yeah, this was the last ever time Papa we to say assembly day and what we can say is that the family of this man, the wife and children of this man almost shedding NDC our position at 8 years wa bre ako radio stations our turn party in his own capacity and then say oniwo inti ohwe de two screens so we mu no mudi kan so got we dey no mudi kan de ekan in fact e jane wan se ho no podi in fact me chest na nipa share me de chewa ebe unyan inti no ebe yi anu fi ho, but this is the post on the buyer air confirming this particular tragic event as it is now. The president is here to comment about this because na mdi kan say video ni e it was the last time President Mahama Nkasa Ishian, because Mahama recently did an event at that particular region who and it is only papa we edim punimpu me no ka say no papa we enyan baby ko nyankopon enfa ne kra ense we will do well to be giving you more updates as all of this particular events continue to unfold. Meanwhile, we are live into yesterday me no ka say no. You can also bring in your comments what you say now at the end of the day what you think after all of these things are the air course. So straight up you better so now I just see in some fufro emu right here on this particular platform Pinaxtv. Now, the issue of lawyer Martin people, can say more things are coming out. In fact, when I was getting ready to actually bring this particular update, I heard one of the female persona. She described herself as an anonymous person. Also witness the sequence of events course. So, the OSP office between Martin Pebu and the military officers, which later resulted in his detainment. Now, in seminar Bibre, in fact, the lady even went on further to say, Martin Pebu so you be you. At a point in time, Martin Pebu was seen insulting using the F word on military men. In fact, according to people, Martin Pebu, that resulted in the officers who felt insulted to take this necessary action, which led to his arrest. But Martin Pebu is out here again, and he is coming out with more bombshell revelation. According to him, he's detailing the sequence of events which ultimately led to his arrest at the OSP office Kisi Ejaben. And in fact, Niema Bibre then eba out. Into clearly, na quickly though, Yawako in Simbia or the Tuja, and what he's saying and what he's saying and what he said. Remember, I said Kisi Ejaben, he's scheduled to appear in Parliament next week because Speaker Abangbabin, according to him, Niema na koso chichin kofono or dream one on Tiasie. I didn't tell Okasa because who Kisi Ejaben, the government actually contracted you to arrest people. What now my friend is saying Kenufurata if you could him after they do any break or citizens so and normal people who are saying they don't feel the appetite of your work. And even Abangbabin together with some NDC big wigs, almost like just say a inclusive office of the special prosecutor. And as a better still, let us merge it with the economic crime office. That's Iyoku. That is the best thing that a bit Marcus is here. Now, show this particular video involved. Lawyer Martin Pebu, he was detailing the sequence of events which ultimately led to his arrest. Babaka, we will continue with more updates concerning all of these issues right here on this particular platform.
Quick one. Good. So let's go to just that part. You see, we had to move. You see me beckoning. Whilst we were talking, what you couldn't see in your shot was a policeman, Mr. J, came to tell Fatah Bayarga, the journalist and the cameraman, that summing up, I've told you not to conduct interviews here, so move further. That you see how we moved to the final point, and that was continuous. So move. So though he wasn't talking to me, I felt that look, as I said, I have solid evidence, so I don't want my case to snowball into side issues. You see, as you sit on TV, sometimes people expect higher standards from you. So I saw that no, don't argue with the policeman. So you see quickly, though he wasn't talking to me, you see my hand, I'd say move, and we moved. Though he wasn't talking to me. Yeah. So when I was done with the interview, I came in. So I even expected, when I came back into the OSP yard, and the reason, let's be fair to the journalists, the reason the journalists were hesitant was that where we're standing, it's not labeled as OSP. It's an ECG facility. It's an ECG room with machines in there. I don't know what they are. Ordinarily, we say transformer, but I'm not an expert. So let's just say ECG facility with some machines in there. Okay. Good. So that's why the journalists were surprised that the policeman was driving us away. But I quickly said, no, just obey. And then we moved. So when I finished and came into the yard, the first person I met was Mr. J, the policeman. And then standing by the security post, he looked at me, I looked at him, then I passed. With hindsight, I think I expected him to commend me that, hey, Councillor, I wasn't even talking to you yet. See how you cooperated. He wasn't talking to me. Right. Yet I moved the journalist and the cameraman. So when I walked past Mr. J, maybe 2-3 steps, then I heard you. So then I turned. When I turned, it was a soldier. So I'll say a soldier because at that time, I didn't think that there was a second soldier. So a soldier said, I allowed you to park here, and then you decide to go out to make conduct media interviews. Next time, I'll not allow you to do that. So I shot back that, which laws have I broken? You can't prevent me. You don't have such rights. Because what have I done wrong? Then he kept quiet. So I continued to move. So by this time, you say maybe 5 meters down the line. Then I heard, as for me, then once again I turned. Then I saw another soldier. Then he continued. As for me, next time you come and do that here, I will show you, pa. And that's a military man who pointing fingers. I'll show you. That's the second soldier, not the first one.
I see.
I'll show you. It was quite menacing. It was quite threatening. So, you know, naturally, the lawyer in me would not just keep quiet and go. I'm a lawyer. Lawyers, we are trained to ask questions. We are trained to, investigate matters. A lawyer is also an investigator. So I shot back that, what powers do you have? A lawyer is an investigator. Somebody is telling me that next time I'll show you, you say, I want to say, I'll show you pepper. Yeah, that's Ghanaian English. I'll show you pepper, right? So I tend to say, what powers do you have? You can't do anything. And instead of him to show me the powers, what law, etc., the next thing I knew, he said, I'm a stupid man. You see, we are debating.
I see. So you asked him the question about what power he has.
Yes, what power? He can't do anything. What is it? What power does he have? So it means that show me the law, whatever you're going to. He couldn't do that. You see, when his arguments are finished, then he will turn to insults. When a person cannot argue, he turns to insults. So he now said, you're a stupid man. So I looked at it. I also shot back that he's also stupid. He's an idiot. Yeah, then we kept trading stupid idiot. We traded that maybe 3-4.
Each other.
Yes, that one I'll say. But a distance of about 5 meters between us or more, minimum to be about 5 meters.
I see.
So then one of my lawyers came and grabbed me that we should go. And then we went inside.
Okay.
Yes. And over there, I asked to make a report. So that was it. Nobody arrested me at that point. When we entered the reception, even on our way to the reception, you know, it's quite a distance. From the security post to the reception, it can be at least 15 meters minimum. So on our way, we met a police lady coming out. She's one of the persons who will search you. So she will search females when you get into the reception. Okay. And I told her, Madam, I'm coming to lodge a complaint against these soldiers. But she said nothing to me, and she walked towards the soldiers. So I entered. When we got into the reception, I told them I wanted to make a report against that soldier, not the two. To be clear, I don't have a problem with the first one because I asked him a question, he didn't answer. That's it. It's the second one, the short one.
I see.
So then at the reception, they said they will help me to make the complaint. It has to be a phone call, so I should sit. So after the protocols, we sat down. But by the time we're going upstairs to go and meet Mr. Abraham Ablomensa, that's the chief of staff of the OSP, at that time, I didn't even know he was the one we were to meet. No, but so let's say before we're going upstairs to meet the persons we were to meet, they still hadn't been able to help me make the complaint. So when we went upstairs and then we're ushered in, it turned out that the persons we met during our second invitation were the same person. That's Abraham Ablomensa. He's the chief of staff of the OSP, and then lawyer Albert Paddington. So when we sat down, did the normal protocols, then we said, no, the first thing to be addressed is that verbal abuse. The way the soldier has abused me, we want them to deal with it. Long story short, so they agreed and went down. They came back 45 minutes later and said that there are counter accusations against me. So since they don't have jurisdiction to investigate that, I should write my statement so that there will be a different administrative panel to deal with that issue. So I agreed. Then quickly I wrote my statement. Afterwards, now we came to the main business for the day, which is that, yes, you are here. We've asked you to come once again, the third time, to present us evidence of the corruption against Kisi Ejabe, etc. And we'll shortly go into at least some of the evidence. Today, I'll show you a bit more so that you'll be convinced that I'm not joking. At least at my age, I've done 18 years at the bar. So I won't come and make statements if I don't have any evidence at all. So then we told them, but Mr. Ablomensa, the last time we came here, he wasn't in the first meeting. So the second meeting, he was in charge. The first meeting, can you imagine? As part of their incompetence, the first meeting we went to, OSP brought Albert Akrugu. Albert Akrugu that are accused of conflict of interest, etc. And right now, there's a petition against him and Kisi Ejabe Ashraj. OSP presented Albert Akrugu as the man leading the charges to collect my information to go and investigate.
So you had concerns with that and you raised some of the
Yes, I said, Albert Akrugu, you're a lawyer, you should know. How can you come? I've named you already, so you can't. Then that's how come the first meeting ended. And then we also said we needed an independent body. You can't, you, Albert, you are a subordinate to Kisi, and the other officer on the first day is also a subordinate. So that's how come the first day the meeting ended, because they were not credible. I mean, they are not the credible persons to take my information. Then we came to the second meeting a week later, about a week later. And that meeting, that's the one Abraham Ablomensa, the chief of staff of the OSP, and lawyer Paddington, met us. Then we raised the same objection that, look, both of you are subordinates to Kisi Ejabin. Kisi Ejabin is your boss. Look, if you exonerate him, we will say, but how can a subordinate investigate the boss? If you find him liable to, we'll say, hey, you have a beef to you have a beef with him, or you have an axe to grind with him. That's why you could find your boss liable. So whichever way, the optics don't look good. So please, let's find an independent body. So it was at the second meeting, not this Wednesday, that we pointed out that, okay, breaking it down in simple English, maybe let us meet the board. At least the board on paper are supposed to be independent of the special prosecutor. I mean, because they are not employees, that angle.
Right.
So that's for starters. But if we met the board, we would come and tell Ghanaians, these are the people we met. And if it turns out that Ghanaians know that, hey, this board member, he brought 10 people to Kisi Ejabin to employ there, etc. If we find out that they've begged favors from Kisi Ejabin, we'll disqualify them. Okay. So me, I know what we're doing. At least I'm a lawyer. You investigate step by step.
Right.
So we're willing to meet the board. Then they said, okay, we should go. So that was the second meeting. So when we went the third meeting, it was still the same lawyer Paddington and Mr. Abraham Ablomensa. So we said, but last week we came here, we told you that you are subordinates, you can't investigate your boss, blah, blah, and you've called us here. Then they insisted that they can do it. So we said, no, I will not give you the information. I will shortly give you a few here today so that you see that that's just a tip of the iceberg. So they said, no, they would not, for them, it's been decided that they should investigate what concerns the OSP, not the special prosecutor. To be fair to them, they now showed me the distinction that they are to investigate the matters concerning the office, not the special prosecutor himself. So I said, no, most of my allegations are against Kisi Ejabin, and that's how, and those allegations, because when the board, you see, the boss of an institution is the #1 ambassador. So though, like for Ghana, there are ambassadors properly so-called. President Mahama is the #1 ambassador of Ghana. So the head of an institution is ambassador. So when there are allegations against him, it affects the institution. So this distinction is like what we say, a distinction without a difference. So please, no, the value is the same.
Okay.
So that was the end. We said we'll not give them the information. Then Ablomensa stepped out and came back 15 minutes later with the policeman to arrest me.
I see. And that was...
And we will soon show that they had no power to arrest me in this instance. OSP.
And they arrested you and took you where?
Yeah, so then they didn't even tell me. I didn't even get an opportunity to call my family. Handcuffed me. But before then, look, let's give 1 minute so that you see the sequence. Before they handcuffed and took me away, what happened was that Ablomensa went out and came back about 30 minutes later and said that's after the arrest and after I'd written my statement. I wanted to obey quickly because that way you get bail. Kofi or ADG, you are here. If you cooperate ordinarily, you get bail. But if you argue too much, then you argue, they'll come and tell the public that when they sought to go through, every lawyer knows that if they say they will arrest you, the next thing after that, generally, though it's not written in hard law, is that write your statement. But if the police are very busy after the arrest, they can grant you bail and then you write your statement later. But this one, you could see that they were on a mission, so don't argue. So I just told the lawyers, come on, let him do the arrest quickly. The policeman was at one. I said, come on, let him come and do. Well, I presume he's a policeman. He's yet to. I'm yet to know. So let's say the OSP officer. So I said, come on, come and do it quickly, so that I write my statement, so that I can ask for bail. So we didn't argue at all. So you see, that's people. No, you should know when to argue, know when to pick your fight. You don't just fight anywhere. You are in their custody. I mean, yes, practically in their custody. You won't get out, even if you argue 1,000 times. So quickly, he came and then he touched my shoulder. You are under arrest for so obstructing an officer, blah, blah. Then the rest, you to paraphrase, they will say, you are not obliged to say anything, but if you say anything, it will be written down and then presented in court as evidence against you, blah. So when they were done, they said, hey, yes, write your statement. Then quickly, I wrote my statement. So after the statement, grant me bail. Then Abraham Ablomensa said he's going to consult. Presumably his bosses. He's going to consult. So he went. Alberta Kugu, Samidaku, and then Kisi Ejabin. So he went and then came back about 30 minutes later and said, yes, okay, they've agreed to grant me bail. But the condition is that I should bring a property in my name, landed property, in my own name. So it looked very ridiculous. I burst out laughing when I heard that condition, similar to Paul Adumotri's
landed property in your name.
Yes. You see how life, a few months ago, we were on Paul Adumotri's case. Somebody said, you see, now a few months down the line, you see, they've given you the same condition. The abuse of Kisi Ejabi and the OSP. So quickly, what happened was that, it looked very laughable. That, a soldier abuses me, I also reply, and now you're saying I should bring landed property. So we said, oh, please vary the terms. Then he said, okay, he will go and consult. He went and came another 15 minutes. You see the delay tactics. He came back another 15 minutes on variation of the bail terms and said, no, they are not willing to vary. So by now, it was around 6:10 p.m. So once I saw that they were not willing to vary, fortunately for me, I've always had an indenture in the office for the past 4 years. I know where it lies. So quickly, I told one of my lawyers that I should go to the office. And my office is just, even if you are walking, about 10 minutes walk, if you are walking from OSP to my, so it's close. If you are driving, it's less. So quickly, Marcel Yunusbia went to the office. But as soon as, when Marcel left, then Ablo Mensah went out again. He came about 3-4 minutes later to tell us that even if Marcel Yunusbia brings the indenture, they need to verify it. And since it was past 6 p.m., they can't do that Wednesday night. So they would rather send me into custody and continue tomorrow. Then we said, Ablo Mensah, Martin Pebu, I'm always here. If you want to find me, you find me TV3, you find me in court, you find me in my office. OSP, you know my office, you've been delivering. How can I run out of Ghana because a soldier insulted me and I insulted? Hey, look, you see there. Mr. Kansi, are you surprised that they are, they did this, and I'm not surprised because people who could allow Ofuriata to travel, they didn't know how to blow their whistle, do a common press statement. Ghanaians, Ofuriata is about to flee Ghana. Kisi Ejabi who couldn't do that. I'm not surprised that Ablo Mensah couldn't reason that I would not abscond. So he said even if Marcel Yunusbia brings the indenture, it can't work. So he told Mr. J, the policeman that I obeyed very well at the beginning, he told him to handcuff me. I can mention that he is a policeman because he was in police uniform and his name shows AJ. You know, usually they put only the surname, AJ. AJ. So AJ handcuffed me, and then next thing I knew, all the pleas for them to wait for myself to bring the indenture didn't work. So then they took me downstairs. To add insult to injury, what they did was that the first soldier whom I asked the question to show me his authority for saying next time.
The one you exchanged the insults with? No.
The first one. The first one.
Who did him?
He now came. He was the one who came with his gun. It was the one who had to escort me. Come on. So now we are showing you where power lies. So we went through the elevator and then into a car. As I said, I was not allowed to call my family. We should be doing serious law reforms on that. You arrest a person, the first thing you have to do is let him call his family. Let him call his family. It must be law.
To be aware of what your whereabouts.
Yes.
Because I think that even...
But they've not put it in hard. Kofi, you and I went to law school. We're not taught... Maybe today, if you ask me, I can't find it in the law. So bring it more prominently clear that when a person... We are doing that for juveniles. We are doing that for juvenile justice. I've seen a draft bill where it is stated that allow the person, they should call the family. This one, so straight to the middle of nowhere because they didn't tell me where we were going. Then we sat in the car. So I protested that no, I don't see what soldiers are doing in OSP. So I can't have the soldier escort me. So when we got to the gate, Mr. J, the policeman, who was now the driver of the car, asked the soldier to get down. And then they brought a policeman. Hey, if you saw him, he's like the two soldiers combined. You see the way Ghanaians are fixated. Huge, tall, thick, tall. Now say Bermani. You know, we are so fixated about soldiers. If you saw the policeman, you see that, yes, like what I've been telling you. You know, in the police, they also have SWAT team. If it's strength you are looking for fiscal power and the rest. I'm telling you that policeman is twice. He's the soldier, the two soldiers combined. Is that one policeman?
So they didn't tell you they were taking you to a
They didn't tell me. Then they started driving. Drivers are maneuvering through the traffic. Then it got to a point, once we got to Ridge Roundabout, there's a certain road leading to BNI headquarters. So I knew that, I couldn't be sure because you can use it and go to police headquarters.
Actually, for instance, same way and air course, so as I will be giving you more updates in regards with this particular issue, air course so CC. And now straight up, no young call the camp of dεad Lumba. dεad Lumba now need information. A bros a funeral poster and in MBM air patch say funeral no dεad Lumba ni next week Saturday and say a bebaso. Yes, next week Saturday we are talking about the 13th of a year December 2025 and na yi na beba so be me no ka say no em say yi ni anhwe ni yi a emba so I didn't say America sa information aba be kan sa sisi a party say busuafo titiri dεad Lumba ni nuanum penifo ene ni busua ni maame side no omo e den sema kokot say yen stop court and stop yi no na sansem we aso no kum chacha so aba be kasa on Captain Smart, but then we'll come back to those issues later. Yen share the details of what is really going on. Until show the whole screen so a reporter Eba or say dεad Lumba funeral saga, family files fresh lawsuit to halt plans. Into in here no omo che say dεad Lumba ne ye no baby edone de it is a family no asanso their court. Osha or see the immediate family of the late Ghanaian music icon Charles Kojofosu, popularly known as dεad Lumba, has filed a fresh lawsuit to suspend the ongoing burial ceremony scheduled for December 13, 2025. In the suit, which circulated on social media on December 5 or December 5, 2025, the plaintiffs Oba Penny Ifia Adoma, Robert Jemfi, Wafake Poku, Georgina Jemfi, Enesina Fusu, and Nana Ifia Kobi have accused the family head of mismanagement, attempting to hijack the funeral arrangement and every other right since dεad Lumba's passing. They further claim that the family head Ebusuapeni Kofi Owusu has deliberately excluded them from the key decisions regarding the funeral. Into part say in some year omudi koye na mo part say court and stop a year no, and their argument is that since dεad Lumba ewu ye no no to nyina no ye yi ne busuafo na ni nuanom ene ne yerenum kra fim ebusuapeni person ye bibia according to them no no date kra be back from na nkasa na o hwe ase a o say furthermore, according to the plaintiffs, the family head together with some individuals conducted an autopsy on the late musician without consent, a situation they believe requires investigation. I'm about to say e ba dεad Lumba wu ye no ebusuapeni no order investigation yen kwhwe de eku no, but some investigation yen kwhwe de eku no omu ye roman kan show bia de film ba any results and if you koye no roman kan show bia, according to them ni nyina e ade a enye. Now again ohwe ha the plaintiffs have also cited car bank in their suit, alleging that the funeral committee responsible for managing donations made to dεad Foundation account during the musicians' 1 week observation has been dissolved. According to them, before new signatories were appointed, Ebusuapeni Kofi Owusu allegedly withdrew 11,000 from the accounts. They added that on the 11th of November 2025, Kofi Owusu again withdrew 60,000 from the accounts without family's consent. The plaintiffs are therefore asking the court to restrain Car Bank from releasing any funds from the dεad Foundation account to the family head. And the party say, "Omaya fotuo bi as a fotuo na any be ye no. Nti sa fotuo no omu bi account e Car Bank e friend no the dεad Foundation. Na Ebusuapeni omu party say Ebusuapeni akwa ko 11,000. Ebisa also hotel fees ni ade no anything koda wasanso na nsia akwa 60,000 ontimi nkyere de airport ya odiska na ye be de hu ne say sika ne ya no oyi, and according to them no de Ebusuapeni ye no it doesn't go in line with how omo hye niam, because omo say omo hwe na kwese siketue bi efa baby. So that is the issue air console. Once again ye kwakwa hwe in summer kum chacha so ediababetuja in regards with this whole issue and even some of the allegations I won't make it, because according to him no there are people like Papa Shi, there are people like Akusia Sewa, and also dεad Lumba then down for 4 bits say Papa Shi omo enomu shechi a omo keje guma ti say ye no omo mana tatan ti say dεad Lumba kra no sana na Ghana fo yimu bi ye pese celebrating no enye sa pepe na eba enti ye wa hotie kum chacha ono so ni numu nsem odi tuja in regards with all of this issue ye babaka. We will be looking at the other aspect of it, because you see abani say the big question is the funeral coming on or not? year no ebeba so anase emba so. These are big questions at the end of the day no I believe say we all need to what answer. So yenko video we ye babaka we will continue with this particular update eba because in Simbibri or what it for I was say you can't want them in the first place.
That's a part. Senior, I'm saying that the lumbar issue idea. Edu baby, I am a person make can want some crabby. Now, you need basso dear. Edu baby, because but that's a part. Senior, I'm saying that the lumbar issue idea. Edu baby, I am a person make can want some crabby. Now, you need basso dear. Edu baby, because but I say, I am microphone super say. Won't tie be any ade no kame mum de ya na frono me na on say maame na ye frɛ no maame sɛ wa no
Yes.
nasam media no kore pa on say ono ne obi a ɔyɛ ɔwalefo a aye bɛka so ɔte awade ase ɛna yenua ba ɔdɔburo ni nso no any ye papa lumba ebe wo ye eti die wodi kan die wodi kan wo ye den because anya kwara na maame no so ode na ho oden ni sika ani ni nyansa de bo lumba ema lumba ebedu ba bia me fe se obedu ye wa abrabom but un say maame no wanye nipa bia ode ni message ni fa no so a obechile mu yie ama ade na kɔ on say papa she na nkasa no o problem wo na dwe mu kakra
Oh dabi come on to nkasa
dabi
papa she your problem one
yes o problem o masa
I know they men twe mama won nkasa
that o problem
dabi doctor be uncertified say papa she
but me say okay it is alleged I what the own person me ya me so me yi dia me to me can dey meka it would dey o station no it is alleged say papa say o wadwe mu problem na obi o wadwe mu problem o kasa ba heart say no sa wo dey asem so ma na public no ntumi nchile mu yi na eno an say wo himu fa so saa na the bia wa hye white at so obi a o kokin kan ayi wo parliament
me too.
Thank you. Eti media me hu say maame say wa no our point. Ne point no eye. Eti say court say won me anu nyina enkoye won say so won ya appeal.
Yes.
On ya appeal. But ye nyina no ye pe no asomdwe. Ana sabe Bible kora ka won ma 259 say nhira na opatafo. Eti no ono nanim de enti nso ono so peso okwaye appeal but lumba nkasa no mame kasa mu we unse lumba we aso oba no unso wabe useless
Oh dabi lumba be useless
yes wabe useless
unso wo kan krofo mo attack lumba no
men attack no but wabe useless
wo de enti obe use sa word no
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 verse 3 osenkafo etirensia ejichemu miensa wonimu de wo ho woso obi bewi ase na owo bebre na wodi mfie e wasase we so na papa me ne kra na wowu ne yansie ne yie na yie nso anko yie a akola ne maame yi na to gotamu kura so won fa so chen no enyame na me de ma no kan Ecclesiastes me ye Bible doctor me ye Bible professor me ye Bible mo kan ba USA obi a wako school apem emeritus me ye Bible emeritus or emeritus quotation no Ecclesiastes chapter 6 verse 3 waso obi bewi ase na wo wu bebre na wo ye legend na ye boni din no wagye din na wo betre ase we so na papa me ne kra na wo wu ni ansie ni yie na yie anye yie a sa nipa no akola ne maame yi na to gotem ɛso wɔ mfa so wɔkyɛn no eti me kase lumba be ye useless ya ɛsɛ wo gye tom ɛyɛ bible na me de kasa
metio
sa fe de what ase ɛna de yɛ to so mi no wonim sɛ lumba me so wonim sɛ ogina samando court sesi a
ase wa yɛden
na de yɛ kɔ so bebrebe ne ade ɛfom wa oba fom ha na wo bɛbɔ bra na wantoto wo nneɛma yie na wu a asamando yɛ kuro asamando yɛ kuro pa te sɛ Ghana ɛne America me no kasa lumba gina asamando court sesi a ama so daya to aso mako 4 times ayɛ de ankof ato ne nsa aya bona ma na chia papai
ya bulumba
ma na chia papai
ɛwɔ wo kum chacha wo dayem
me dayem ma so ne 4 times me nka me nintro me say enisu a pre lumba no enye ni su ketwa ya bona ma me say ne mu nyina papai ama sabe wadwo nsuo nyina gu ne ho ama ankofa da no sunsu mu asam de wo bi kan opa gidi open so anyini because sunsu mu asam no enye wo bia no ogi sunsu mu asam di eti lumba me no kasei me osof kum chacha me say wo gina samando court sisi a na enisuo na eba ene nisuo na efri nani ase ba ni nyina no asekele wo ho asekele no say da won be ye lumba yi no awon tutu niam yi a ensuo beto ase yi no
oh samom
yes ensuo beto ase yi no makasa me kan asem we last week enu ase me hu se social TikTok kokore nkrofo bi so awon de ye wurofuo se won de kan asem o se me masem na me kan na won kofa ayo awon amompaya da on be ye lumba yi no owu koyi fun na efun ne be yela
ewo kumase he transition ha
yes efun ne be yela
lumba funu be yela
me say eyade a me hu osunsun mo onse me yo bi a osofukum chacha me tanka sa sunsun mo asem ne nkom dabi but me say de me meka no ade bi a me hu osunsun mo a me ba be ka no ade na bebam maka to what did that and no say me wo so obi dey TikTok or say what dey ye wrofo so dey ye wrofo
say lumba funu be yira
me say I want to to niam yi a lumba funu be yira eye sunsun ma de ye na mahu sa wo gidio wo anyi ani o sunsun ma de ye de 5.1 enye obi a na ogi sunsun mu nsam di eti se me sof kum jaja me ka sunsun mu asam na se wo nyi ni a eno no ye wo faith also wo different faith and am so me wo me different faith eti de akoso wo lumba na yie mu nsensem no basa enkoyie ana abusua quotation ba ko ye me de wo bible mu panso ye Jeremiah chapter 8 verse 3 wasi abusua bedofun achen obi ote ase abusua boni mu nkai ye be kai no ye bedo obi a wowuo ase ne ote ase oba wi ase menim se wani yafi memenam we mi wo 50 mi wura 51 years mu ano no mani yafi ye ba fom wa abusua bia wo bi wu a problem kakra eba but the lumba de yayi wa say bi yesida wa say bi yesiga na hada ebi siga na hada ene bi nsi ye eti no dia maka no awon hwe yie abusua ntutu niam yie se ene ye fi ada
yeah
that is ayie ne beba so a na ye okene ena woche ena ayie ne beba so ena se ya ebi asande akogina court biem ena se nkabom kora maaye eti ayie no ekwa ne sen wonim se ayie no awreho ne ade ye nyina wonim se atukọ
yes
enye obi ani kan biem se han pa na akọ sanwa me 1 week ya me kọ ye me sanwa ba ayie we se me se kora me nkọ me kọ yede ana me konso ahan na me kọ sanwa because obi a okọ ayie ni bia ni so okọ sanwa sense one na wokobo no that dwen say bi e be ko to park ho
Abusua
pani ho say no di aba no say na wotwe bi abusua pani ko iska sa na wo krom na abusua pani aba chilechilem em say wokora wate bi na wotwe bi ase bi a 50,000 100,000 and abusua pani so okwaji loan 6 billion yet it is ka 6 billion.
Yes, they say 600,000.
600,000.
I would be a year.
I know they pay 1 week in a year.
1 week, no.
That is a year, no. 1 week in on a year 6 billion there. That is a year, and Casa de SSI, and only be 50 billion. That is only 50 billion a bay. The Adichia Biano, where Solia, Scanny be Abusia Penny the cock. When so Solia, Abusia Penny the Scanny be cock. Eti mi bisa say eti lumba eti woti ase no a wo no eti owu ye na agese ye kobo bese eni ye ne 1 week agese lumba abra bo bebo ye bebrebe eti lumba wu ye no na agese ye kobo bese eni ye de aba be ye 1 week ya na ya se ye kobo bese ba be ye yi ana eti sese no ba bia de na duo no bro Mr. Speaker wadawroma ayi ni mu odo ayi ni mu enkamum ayi ni mu awrechichire a ede nipa akoma so no wodi nipa 100 gina wa emu 80 na ati onwani so
ati onwani
so
onu efe
woni se lumba asem ba ko pe yaka lumba asem we nti no Rollins yele kura wi ye yanti na yi
yeah
nana jeman kura du ya last week no nsi nana hind that ni pado do sen ayi ni kokama but ni pado do sen that say Rollins in the yele yesie na ye na yi because say dana no won ye Rollins yele ayi no say dana so na no won bu asem no e wo court okumase
and attention ne call
thank you Anna from Baya Bosumi ni Benie, the beer lumba, the beer to park, the beer or Dobroni, the beer sewa, the beer papa say, that papa says Wusiana, bag ye kutan in the books you womb, watching Jehovah Witness ni. Bag ye kuta papa say, any books you woman watching Jehovah Witness in your conchele. Watching will be a walk meeting with UN. I will do be beer or no sweet, not the chele.
Oh, ye there.
What you papers?
Document.
Thank you. Not the chele. 80 million. A year we moon some of the end. A year so totally bad dadas. It's a jibby jabba. And go ye. Now we could be Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so that is exactly what Eyekum Chacha Ekanye. You know, there's something which is going on in Mohammed's Flagstaff house. And sheni yeah, bibit misi because sisi I bet that was say obia pe power. In fact, Oko Jubilee House sisi evidence say the chief of staff Julius Debra pe president di intinano ko pimo Nigeria sorry. It's also evidence say sidin kiti also pe president di intono so start here ni mini campaign any other people omo kan ruko pokumo any ade but me no ka say no there are some group of people omo so omo ko because it's alleged say the National Democratic Congress no they may boycott all of these process of flag bearership race near peke or they will handpick Jena no pokuni ni si ho, which means the powerful position a bit me ama wo akodi president no a vice president position. And in that global info analytics post on by HSA at forcing the finance minister no he say no lead on ya no reduce no more lead if a neighbor pick NDC flag bearer intermad na yehu the people like chief of staff Julius Debra they are losing. Julius Debra lose ground support because of this same issue. No, some about to just see a patch say okudo to blakwa oni haru na do so o makwa ma blues o manu nya ya pipe. Don't take my word for it, take a year Paul Adomoche's word for it. Now your video enti be kokoshe ni ehu the reason why okudo to blakwa wakoshe gloves say an oni a year haru na do so ekon eye bebre. Now according to Paul Adumoche, this the rationale behind this particular thing is simple. omo pese omu di vice president iti je na epeni replacement sisi eni esu ye hwe Okudzoto Ablakwa oyobi oye young Okudzoto Ablakwa yobi a okuta the party spirit what I say intino obitimi aboa na how they do so things happen on say me my majority leader ni minority leader che after the mu position Okudzoto Ablakwa da ben on oba party nim onu Okudzoto Ablakwa no when did he Okudzoto Ablakwa come into the party? These are big questions aye bisa. Now in a minute no ye kwa share a year in sema eba concerning this issue and what Okudzoto Ablakwa is saying and what any part of this issue we eba ye Paul Adomochi is saying. But before then no, let us put this on the screen. See we are near share fights, how it came about and even who is winning. My only belief is that man nko ye draw to na ebe we are saying we say when I start here makum debi I believe say do sa level no o share the whole screen so we a report at Ghana web so ed by or say how na do so Okudzoto Ablakwa in serious fight over NDC 2028 running mate position. Paul Adomochi reveals. Inti Biensha just the part. Also, former board chairman of the Ghana Airports Limited and host of Good Evening Ghana, Paul Adomochi, has alleged an ongoing rift between the Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzoto Ablakwa. Now, according to him, the tension stems from internal competition for the 2028 National Democratic Congress vice presidential slot. International media can the whole fight is about what? The position of the running mate. Now, as I say, and I'll be exactly what we are talking about. If we are share the video a year involved. Osha say Adomochi said Ablakwa's recent public disagreement with Haruna Idrisu over student hairstyle in senior high school breached government communication discipline, adding that such contradictions between cabinet members should not occur. Again, the broadcaster asserted that the real source of tension is the race to become the NDC running mate in 2028 general election. The tussle for VP in NDC, that is why they are fighting about, and that is what they are fighting about. That is the fight. Both of them want to be the next vice president of NDC to win 2028, and both of them want to be vice president at the same presidential candidate, he said. He claimed that both ministers aspire to partner the current vice president, Professor Nana Opukwa-Agyeman. Should the party choose her to preside? Should the party choose her as its presidential candidate in 2028? So, in some here come and maybe, and Paul Adomochi here is also saying, say, fighting your men say, I don't know, say, Osha MPP. Fighter Elkoswa ene adenaye tanya obie nim say either Kenya Japan and Baumia, and because of that infighting ama sebio party no there is no unity. So for NDC not to suffer the same horrible fate and I say humiliating defeats no na party met church no any info obi say Jena na ko one time tini one time pe inti nipa no Jena na ko one time nipa no be the vice president or no na the year 2032 no omuko 2028 no elections na nipa ni winia na omu wina Jena na fa nipa na say vice president on na 2032 no Jena na ko one time no ntimi nko because of the age sa nipa no na ba be the flag bearer nti omu wu ne sa no na infight no aye den ahya ase and obeka so sa infighting we dey Haruna Idrisu pe even oman kankran kan ye enye Haruna Idrisu pe na fight we ekoso nipa ono so ope position bi pe ye asisi ano no po dey olidi to forcing because of how or manage the economy into about a favorite among the NDC delegates. Into quickly no yenko tie in sema Paul Adomochi edituja. When we come back, we'll also look at other issues surrounding this case. Fights now airban, what is the way forward? What will happen? These are critical issues. At the end of the day, we need to know whatever is going on. It once again, it for yen share this particular update Paul Adomochi or the buyer. When we come back, we will continue.
I told you before that Idrisu Haruna, the Minister for Education, and Samuel Okudzoto Ablakwa, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, who is an Odadie, are fighting. They are fighting gidi. And I'm going to tell you why they are fighting tonight. So what has happened is that first, for you to believe me that they are fighting, I need to show you two videos. Now, the first video I'm going to show you is Idrisu Haruna here speaking at Mauli Secondary School for their, I think it was their 75th anniversary, Mauli 75. And he said that you cannot keep your hair and come to school, and you remember that sparked off all the whether to keep the hair or not to keep the hair. The foreign minister, Okudzeto Ablakwa, goes to his former school, having been invited as the guest speaker, which for this year at PESEC was quite different from the special guest of honor. So there was a special guest of honor, and then there was a guest speaker, which was him. He is part of the government of Haruna Idrisu. He didn't have to say that, he didn't have to contradict the education minister. He didn't need to. In fact, it was wrong for him to. If I'm chief of staff, he's the one I'm going to punish, because the one minister spoke first about it. Even if that's not the government position, another minister should not go public against it. So our great friend from Odadie may be wrong in this regard, because Idris Haruna spoke first, and he is the sector minister. He controls education. And he spoke and said that your haircut, it won't work. I'm not interested. Go and cut your hair. Shut up over there. That's what he said. And what he said typically will represent the government's position. Then weeks down the line, Ablakwa comes to say the opposite. And in doing so, he talks down on the people who are thinking that hair is important. First, let's see Haruna Idrisu.
There is an ongoing debate in social media about haircuts and size and length of hair in secondary schools. We will not tolerate it today, we will not tolerate it tomorrow, and so long as we are molding character. If we give in to hair today, tomorrow it will be shoes, and the next day it will be the way they dress. Therefore, as part of our disciplinary measures, headmasters and GES, you are accordingly empowered to take full control of how students behave on your campuses. So anybody who thinks that your child will walk into any institution of learning as if that child, forgive my words, was to attend a beauty contest, the school environment is not for that purpose and not cut for that purpose, and we would not tolerate that as an institution.
That was the Minister for Education speaking at Mauli Secondary School 75th anniversary. To all intents and purposes, the Minister for Education, Idrisu Haruna, was actually communicating the government position on the matter. To all intents and purposes, that's how it will appear, isn't it? He was communicating the government position on the matter. But then comes Okudzeto Ablakwa last Saturday at the Odadie event. Come along and join us. Let's show it. What did Ablakwa say?
Instead of focusing on how strict religious doctrines are being enforced in our schools and the weird correlation between short hair and disciplined students, it is time to ponder over the real issues. Why is our educational system producing graduates who criminally create thousands of ghosts to fleece the state when real human beings are looking for jobs? Why is our educational system producing graduates who will destroy our environment, pollute our river bodies, and create a public health crisis for the rest of us just to advance their greedy galamsey search for gold? Why is our educational system producing graduates who lack ethical leadership? Why is our educational system producing graduates who commit Ghana to unconscionable transactions? Why is our educational system producing plutocratic graduates who want so much for themselves and don't care about the country they lead and the generations coming after them? To me, with all due respect, these are the weightier matters.
So the Minister for Foreign Affairs in his government is telling the education minister that, Chief, that's your ridiculous analysis of short hair and it has a correlation with discipline. I don't even understand it. That's not what you should be focusing on. Focus on why people come from the university that we are training them. They are doing this. You are a new Minister for Education. You have inherited a system. Check why the system produced those people and stop talking about things that are not important. That's the content analysis of the two videos. About 4 weeks apart. That's the content analysis. Ablakwa is fighting with Idrisu Haruna. Idrisu Haruna is fighting with Ablakwa. Ablakwa is fighting with him. My responsibility here, viewers, today is to show you that as a political news reporter, I know why. I know why they are fighting. So I'm going to take you through it. Stay with me. Don't go far. Stay with me. I'm going to show you why they are fighting. It's for a very big price. They are not, they are not fools. They are not fools. They are fighting for a very big price. And they won't be fighting if the price is not big. It's huge. You can see, Saki has put on the screen, the tussle for VIP in NDC. That's what they are fighting about. That is the fight. They both of them want to be the next vice president if the NDC were to win 2028. And both of them want to be vice president for the same presidential candidate. So this is the vice president, Professor Jena Nopokwajiman. She has long had an excellent relationship with Ablakwa in the Mahama first term. Let me tell you how that relationship occurred. Before the Mahama first term, during the campaign, she was a debate host. She and Kojo Ponkroma were the host of the IEA debate. Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa was part of the team to prepare President John Dramani Mahama for the debate. So typically, between the IEA, the debate host, and the candidates people, they have some encounters. And it is there that I believe Ablakwa and Madame became quite tight. When the election was won, the vice president now revealed her NDC colours, because when she was a debate host, she didn't show that she's NDC, even though she had been a Radio Gold, and many people thought that she was an Ato Ahoy protege. In fact, we made the point on social media, if you go, is there, when she was being chosen for the running mate position in 2020, that Ato Ahoy, who were represented by the word Church Street, because he had an important office in a Laboni street called Church Street. So that's how we call him in political parlance. When news reporters are talking, they talk of Church Street. They mean Ato Ahoy. Back in the day when some people also used to call him Don King and all of that. So when we are exchanging text messages, we say Church Street says so and so. It means Ato Ahoy says so. So we put out a note that Church Street is pushing for Jena Nopokwajiman to be the running mate of Professor Mills. I still remember who told me, but I won't say it today. Now, when she became running mate, before she became running mate, she was Minister for Education. When she was Minister for Education, Ablakwa was her deputy. So in the first Mahama term, they forged such a tight alliance as deputy and boss. Ablakwa was the more political deputy. She is the more technocratic vice chancellor of the university, blah, blah, blah. So they worked together excellently. Then Idrisu Haruna at that time was working far away. He was working at communication. No, he was working at trade to labor, something like that. Communication was in the Mills administration. She wasn't a member of the Mills government, but Ablakwa was a member of the Mills government. So right now, Ablakwa has been a member of 3 executive governments: Mills, Mahama, and Mahama. 3 executive governments. So this vice president is close to Ablakwa. Now, vice president has come in the saddle. Perhaps you should have added Ofoso Ampofo's photograph for me. Vice president has come in the saddle. They won the election. She's vice president. Ofoso Ampofo hears that Johnson Asiedu Ketia is eternal, perennial nemesis in the NDC, is running for president. Ofoso Ampofo doesn't want that to happen. Okay, so he is saying that, but Madam is more competent than the party chairman, so Madam should be. So Ofoso Ampofo is pushing the Madam agenda together with Alex Segbefia. Okudzeto Ablakwa here is responsible for gathering the Volta region onto the vice president. You see, Okudzeto Ablakwa, his work is get Volta region for the vice president. And Ofoso Ampofo's work is that anybody but Asiedu Ketia and first vice president is competent. Alex Segbefia is rooted onto that agenda as well. So this is what is happening. All right. Now, with this background, let's go and look at the history, and then we'll come back.
So that was in Sema Paul Adomoche Edituja. Many who can say, on the screens, the recent burial ceremony of First Lady, former First Lady Konidu Agyeman Rawlings. But the new which, Kamia Kwese Nima Eba. We show the previous video, na kumchacha kase, mamini ni wono, celebration, anyhow, burial service, ya shada until umpupoye, like the previous, and Rawlings, dear, and other people, mewu. In fact, we share background of this particular burial ceremony, in Crawford and Anchor, most of the seats at the Independence Square were empty, even though Titri be quiet and Anchor. Now, no information about Obiticho Ediababe to say, Mammy, we know who ye no. The entire year when the son and answer the entire way air question is because NDC for a year sebe, a year time, and now they did just a shoddy burial. and Omodiema eye Jinana Opoku Ajiman. Nipa or the Sansimi Ebetuja Eya Domako Befi. In fact, he happened to be the former communications director of the New Patriotic Party. And Odi Tuja say, Yensha Hawa NDC for a failure to honor the late former First Lady Konido Ajiman Rawlings. Despite Tumawe how she contributed to forming the National Democratic Congress, she Fumbi Omoyema no Independence Square. Look at it. Omo ya adnase omo ko SHS ni bia sebio wewu a atofu afa no hwe ye bia NDC for amahama efa ka ekoye. Don't take me my word for it today be adomako befi ene kan sansem no ewa hotie nsem a adomako befi edituja and how he actually alleged this particular issue amanfo bebre esi ana kamya ko say madwin esi so okay maybe papa we nsem o kan ye no a bit my power because osha woman no ni wo no yan sheda burial no I say ye pentem ye and say fi ho all because or ye na adwin say obeti and obe forming your own political party the NFP and sorry the NDP yen kwani yen kwhwe this particular video ye babaka ye beto aso
poche no afi but anyam nwanwa even this year's budget of the bo apoche no afi but anyam nwanwa even this year's budget of the buy we have 50 pages no yeah one to a year MP dito enti mama ni japo ho enti no wa wi na kwakutre na so sundae said no si boapo no ofiri se nkura be boapo but aside that minia huge you know the abeto Ghana for so eni guase kese to the extent say ya no de saja ya di mre but ye manu a eba any woman po mu no nyame amoa ebedru baby outside Ghana ne beka mo di apole buy yeah we are so reckless, irresponsible, ungodly and wicked. They are satanic. So we kasanya asebu say nyansasem nyansasem ene mabu on mo ne ka say yani amre ankasa ma yawofo ne akoye we de nka mani hunu se nipa no adwene no nya enye mama ne nkofo adwene no enye this statement become the propaganda they buy. It is say education capture, and then parliament capture, judiciary capture, security capture, babiado capture. Now we are yenuano ne kwede, and kurman po ba yenuana samre no, na yeni media vibrancy. JBC nkwane oho. Samre no control babiano. Yes. Send them kurman yakuna babiwa, you will have thought twice. Eti dia ben hwe na no kuradu agema yi kuradu agema do de unu kuradu agema ya ebepim na kurabi nim so awu ebepim na bi nim si aye na yi na ndesi fo anu so so akatuam de atua ma me ne de asama do o man obedi no humienu costa kra ya anya bi hwe minia lumba so ye ko nani na me ko nani ana de na chi ba 6 ne me ono o America na oni jo se usini lumba nya na odwa me secondary school tina ohum bia na o frame seri ni okuma so ti ase ena kwajo fosu eko na de se yenya na yo ba unu posters e wokrum billboards e wokrum na kradu agimaya ni fifi sam eya odi PNDC ni kunu de bae no na ye as compared to ni kunu owu ya na kufu ado ho hwe yi a o man ye no na kradu agimaya sebi boni ben wo ye now ko fax ye honum now ko hwe nipa gu honum a enka NDC empo greater Accra se region bi Accra ma monfa nipa ka ba akoprem amra monfa ka ba akomra now ko hwe yie fianfia bi a ya akora bi ye na yie nam so ade ya no ope me ka 95 somewhere na statesman de ba say ya akora du me ni apani onya no ba bi ko say ye ni yaso yasandini odonti party funti uwu ya babu si so wuni ansie wu ya ya che o yiraba o chimba na fe na ye bia ye no papa so ti ase so wicked and vindictive but so onyon party ni bi anti omutomo sir so onyon party ni bi onyon party ni bi anti bia no na anya hwe kura no ofe hu so ne de no anagene ne ba wanya mpiom omu party so flag ayi emblem o mu kron ni design o ti ase entinke eto ana second ni kata so oto ana o ti ase we dia pa de why media kama ye bia tia na so papa da wuro nti se nipa bi wo nwini saa no sort ya se nipa bi wo nwini saa no ene ya sem se sie ne nkan ha na nkan fa nko ni kuro mu mpo bi e say adwetia ba ku iko mami wo de say
so no kuro mu ye no koso hima o e wo one of the communities of Ashanti.
Oh yes say so ono ne betimodrusu ene akuadonko we fra adwetia ena we fra nkase ena we fra mpobi enti wo ma te adwetia de na firi ho ene ya te mpobi de na firi ho enti betimodrusu ono fra nkase no ena aka kuro no bobo ho how ti ase timenia ene ma omo yen airtime me amin digress kakra na me fa disrede keskra ento yen MPs nani
na ono asuom no mo ye ne nkoso hema
eni fasu kade
na me hwe me fe se me hu
kade suom
in some way na ete say omo de betuja concerning ye maame nana Konidu Agyeman Rawlings ya wadoma ko be fi opache say fumpa na ye ma no because people did not go. In fact ya in such a way say otumfo say to ono ni nuaba prekope Konidu Agyeman Rawlings otumfo ntimi anko bi mo pache say so otumfo o sheda o ma nye eye ni date ni favorable and as no mo ye ni state burial no e say o hwe background no kra tama ye di ne fun e ba na utim say nkofo anko a year no it did not draw cloud. A year it did not draw crowd. And on in summer a year MPP yaw adoma ko befi or the ababe tuja CCI just say in summer air course no. Tino definitely ye ni bedi in semnichi ni make sure say ye be follow na the film be bia no ye be bremo updates concerning this particular issue na at the end of the day bia wo bia no ye de amamo it for we ene in sema air course right here on this particular platform Pinaxtv na it for ye be di kan ana ye be toa so a na ye be ko in sem foforo eso mene uka say chema to me kame akohese ne dabremu enye why because on wankasa ni chocho mucho metimaka ne small boy ete so soma no one ne konda kranda if ne po yando or the areho sembia ba be tuja se papa no niema nko to the extent say edumre bi na nsemu na o se ne chairman 500 Ghana cedis no dia top true anko. In fact, name mo ye diama chema to me. And according to him, there was a buying a step in no ye bibi because the entire chema to me watching enye se oniska. Obekaya case which is ongoing between himself and also the Attorney General no. The Attorney General no omakwa ko freeze all chema to me's accounts from his personal account, his business account, his company's account into nanga se jume mu hono and ejuma all ye no ni to me FM hono. Bear 1 year work is be bring to Omuka. And even aside from that, no, the mining most of the mining contracts and the mining in about to a halt. We ye ne kwe fiwa sisi ano untumi lawyer the ababe tuja say the concessioner ga aban e dia mana legally or acquire e was or ye or mining gold or so sisi anko fobi akoso mu tusu gold. Only one ko kasa adi wa asem wo court see ya ma ya ha yenko tie sema po yando edituja about how chema to me no wache na ama 500 cedis momo ene wo se sane ma no
mamin kwa o maso hi Ezra TV Ezra radio miami nua po yando ya regional communications officer for the NPP wo sound so kwa as a regional secretary. For now, they are one bit major party more Asante region. But mini I under let us say
Reverend Yamiadum and no one for me for ya wo bobu etiri so eti ame eboye pa eba asitremu gadre ni wo how ni abebrese ndisi fodi ku yeso dia ni enye kura
Yamiadum ebe ye wate
Ezra,
campaign
there, Wadaruma, Yegusu Papa, they see a yamene will case, Camilla Baumia, our region.
Okay,
Yakase as communication for the region. Obiano, our pastor, Bayer Francatuni, the Uhu here, say, what's our communication directory. information as to itinerary ne ubi bia no a ebebo hu de rupa amount then ebeya dia uba be already no mu bia no obia no ebetibie because MPP ni de obia na kuma so enti obia pese otifa hu bia no ene de obia no eka bia no ebema obi bia ate enti samiria wo ha enrai otimi eko mia bebre a ebo aye pa ke wie wo kurukum oko bosomtwe ena oko do to bri so ene oko nyina hini obeko ebu akwa na waba be wie wo bantima.
That's great. Na yando manfo start protest say wo montiase unua osesibi hada na moyina ma ewo prisons a
Ezra 94.1
Adam kese plan we bisa no na asema e dia to NDC e dia to osesibi so no dia NDC fo ye ni pabone wo mu ye ni pabone papa because osesibi ba ye ne kumasi hey na mutimi kan trotto ne so say 2.2 billion Ghana
94.1 Edum Kumasi
sika ye de share ministry anim entire ministry as budget what you say ye de share ministry a sector ministry so says to be abedini ho na me kura me tie say 1 million kura bedimi wa me nan tie be sika o
94.1 Edum Kumasi
Mr. Mr. Krabes na 2.2 billion Ghana cedi abedi o sense be ho a ye ne tia o sense be u bi ta ni ska no wotiatia mu no obo bna hia wo
u bi so sense be ska no wotiatia mbo bna hia wo
oh na tie ne na ne tia o je se no o tun no ye na me kwaba na sense
94.1 Edum Kumasi
e ayi na mu da to no so no o zo obi antimi nko ho webe matise mu di hu nkomo ampa yentimi nko ho because almost 800 million Ghana cedi oti ase over the country they quote sika dum e quadrillions
Edum Kumasi
oti ase quadrillions eti property bay and e betima keka abomu o Ghana ha na ni nyina koduru 800 million asani eyosesi it was help be there obeka ho because I see mo dey to no
ti be beka ho
debi na se se obey dey
94.1
adi mo dey to no reverend na ye ni abre se yen hwe asuban ne ekwan a NDC for any state agencies no enam so no hwe se yan hwe kwan na yan hwe anka ho atem na yan hwe se adi omo ye no eyemra kwan so a Reverend, ebeye me. Ye nya kama for
94.1
because the one thing with the asema to obi so asema wo kanu e allegation akika sem atete sem e mere allegation na wo disika we ato ne so say yentime hwe sa properties we nyina sana yetima yina it's not going to work. It is not going to work.
Auntie, young, are you telling me, sir, as we speak, MPP for Nimpeni for Kukuda, Moka Kamway Bomna, Moswete Kakra, because says Bobby the mayor, Wawa Buam Rantian and Kakra, Regime, Auntie Nasidan, so one else under me.
Tio, was it when Wabedi mayor, Wabedi, why you come on one Katan in a book when you will be a crab and says Cano. Ya wabe wo wiase a wo ba ye sense be nyama wabe wo wiase nyina ene ne bibia wo ye ne future nyama ye na aka wo nanim ne wa ya ka ne nyina boma eti na me say NDC fo ye di pabone fo because ade ato ne so no wo dwen ho a wo ntia
asa untu bi kwadu ade bo ne be condition de man ne nu o sense be di
debi o sense be di ande ho Reverend, 800 to me the end was 50 million Ghana cedi.
Oh, okay. 800 million.
800 million.
Yeah, they are about 623.
Shabbat 623. No cry 623 million. It's way a brew to me the no so bad 300%. What you say? That is why I catch NDC for say I do more yenye. Asam no e court. Court is so amani bail. It's in Konko fie kwa no ntimi ne lawyer ti kwa nim komo na atuha wo beti etwitwa ne ho afa e court. Where the matter the bail condition asa to ne so a amani hye moa mukukuma ontimi nya access to the lawyer kra na atama yede ne be call the next court date no kra no watimi ne na di nkomo na yetimi de na aye we o ja say eti nya se obi na mpese obeye demo ma de no bopini na se ade no ntimi nya wo hia it becomes difficult o ja say
eya amukosra no
sra de se be sra no
nya so obesra no wo kosra no because me kai say untumi die ba ye wo da mu mantontom we wo ma aduane kra na wonya bi ni mu kosra wo sesi be
eno de ye no kra na wa ni tia say asetena de ye asetena ni ni private na no awu to ho sesi be no ukata wo ka e tempi but ye be kwa anisa but ye be ko bronye de ye be ko at least one mafie eti ye be ko na ya kwa akotra no na ya hwe no senia e be si akọ to ho because ade amudi ato no to no reverend enya ade e da fom
wa hwe obedi buru nya o inside o
obedi o se esi bebedi ye be akọ no obedi enkofo no nya ade o mbegu o mo ntem na ade 800 million ti so asem de aba 600 o ti ase o de fabra 50 ni 20 bi kra na o ntinye o da so nam 600 million. And you know, Reverend, I'm an iron, but media the cost will be iron and the hot. So what you say now? Say the British High Commissioner Abeka say Ghana's democracy is under threat. What you say? Nina kahubi.
Na because yando me worry ne say, unse oba region biemu a ye party leaders. They are more or less they are the gatekeepers of the party in the region. The packet rising from deputy regional minister, mayor, NDC boss. I mean, some two people party more region ha. Omo na charge mo. NSC on so the agent I am.
That's na NDC for strategy no say. Ye ni kan chi wuntumi. Our the regional chairman. The biggest region across the number of constituencies a door so meboa yanchino near chinwa ye be bre obi bia what I say so that was the strategy what I say as NDC for ye pesi yi chair ka mami ye obekofi na so na kwa be so ne be fast we be you know ye ni kan koyi chief justice yenya yi chief justice free wa ya ka bia na obi abeko sana de nete etino nyese mpani eni region nim na bomu ye chi wo pani na ya brenase na de hu ste atu obi a no so a ebe ma wo mo a so mu eputu wo mo ho eye bibia no o ti ase ebe ba from enu nti na wasem a wo kan ye ansa na ye share interview na se no se obi a no to aba no mapo o ti ase o de share among the regional executive the current one and some air cost was
the account na say we gina ho kasa ma MPP one kasa say obi an kasa one MPP mbiem
what the air kana say ya beki your regional chairman kwambone so ya di sika eni ano atuniti so or court left right center untimi hu say ye nyina collectively no ya pushy agenda na ko what you say etino ta na wan hwe a ye de beye obi bia no a ekoso but me dey me feel say enye ne kwaso when you touch one you touch all ye nyina nka ye humbom irrespective of our differences and the differences na say ye nyina da form team na da form team a afa na ukoso uniamu there be ye nka ye humbom ye ntua na mo a ede eni da so papa ebe bre asantimantemu for ne hu ni say a party a over the years no ya som mu na ya kura no ne ye wogide wo mu no ahoɔden ata abam enkenya ata abam bie party ane ye ni nyina e individuals no party ni dan bia ehyem yɛse ne yɛbɔwura mu na yɛakɔyi MPP na pi ɛyɛ various individuals na ɔmo representing here at the various wings department and others ɛno na ɛyɛ party no it is say etimi betati ye nipa ne nyina ya nka ho asɛm de a me feel say ɛnyɛ papa enti reverend me da wase pa sɛ modi asɛm ayɛ asɛm
ma me na wase pa ba manfo enti wontumi nkɔboa asibe meli no
no mo ne ho kyire no enye izo nsɛm ya de agu ne suo bebrebe reverend ebe de no watimi ayi ne ho na asɛm baako no ya chemu mienu ɔkɔ high court 1 wasa akɔ high court 4 3 days bia ɔkɔ yoko akɔtro ne din wɔ hɔ 2 weeks bia high FN CID akɔ akɔtro ne din e book no so akɔ high court ya freezing ne bank account ya freezing mobile money ya sesa ne ntare ya sesa ne cash nyina o ti ase ya tu ne radio station ne nsa ne Kumasi Takrade e na Accra ya tum eti obaye den na se kura no court se nka yembie ne bank account kura ma no ntiminya sika kakra attorney general fi da o ta ko gina mu kan sam gu ne so o ma mbie bank account ya ma enti untumi ho papa ne pa
Zare de wuntumi de agese mo akwa na mo ye momu kakra de ma no.
O seni momu no kra MTN for kra seni wa de brew back.
Hey!
I'm telling you.
Boyando.
I say you freezing the mobile money. No transaction.
O send momu ema wuntumi a MTN for send o wa de brew back.
Pressure say and send it kan call number we to be. On be send ya brew.
Hey!
My be I possible. Me say na say me 500 be say I got me this chairman. May the choir not have a back, you won't be that.
Hey, any idea na critical?
You're depriving a lot. You're depriving from a lot. What you say? The mobile money in Yajuma. They say I want to make a kata. I get a WhatsApp. I'm some person in the number and the crap reading them.
Hey!
Only chairman bedding for my get a WhatsApp.
It's dangerous.
My emphasis here. Reverend Medwase. Na nyamishka mo muntu ankomo no so. Ye nyina hu ne se o se SBC ya.
In some way na eye auditu dwa say sia wuntumi ne dabre mu no enye se na wo ka no wo se ne wuntumi mobile money kra na ye besa aban betima be se ne wa dia yeden ama wo baka at the end of the day no Utimu say nyema ekoyie no it is not really going on well for him at all. In some way na ekoso and also no yes so you need the same nichi because abani say na I was say what is really going on the way forward and even cry no chama untumi abani saying how does he survive because now no the same because two just say the mba school fees cry need to an ayeding. Yes, Nimba school fees need to mun ayedeng. And the big question is why is all of these things happening to Chema Huntu? Ubeka so no one fault. Yes, all because he chose to actually campaign and that's all then the Hobe bought a year politicians and our politics. And same way we are looking at all of these issues very closely. Be making sure more updates as all of these whole issues no continue to unfold. Once again, we are live into audio comment. You can bring in your comments now. You also agent share concerning all of these issues. Na at the end of the day, bibia wo bia was say ye can yaka because issues of her I was say yaka straight away ye be di kind ye movie or near call a year in some so because there are a lot of issues and also so will crum her I was say can want some teacher any in summer a year his excellency John Dramani Mahama or the ababe to just see a man phobia start take say hey papi now no send me a car say as a China for no any a year Russia for no Mahama really gravitates towards them no Kamia koyese bit my yampa because Mahama or the announcement be aba sa announcements or the abano meaning say very 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 soon people will start making issues with this case and people will start demanding say Mahama say you need Russia and I yes you need China. So what at all are you trying to prove? In some way, but at the end of the day, we will try and give you more updates in regards with all of these issues I had eba. For year twaswa, Menuka says Excellency John Dramani Mahama or the issue be ababe to just very soon. Ghana abino sana okwa brochire unenam Europe in bontin so unenam friend Russian bontin so ne China bontin so camera everywhere abroni friend surveillance cameras. Our surveillance camera no camera bia ye de hwe nkrofo ye de steady nkrofo into bi bibi sha brochire obi koyi bibi no obi kobo obi to a sana Ghana has say a big diggy no bia eyem hye ne say bia no nipa na ba show them abrochire. No one even cares because in him say ye dan ye bechi nipa no. It is because of adebia broni friend surveillance camera e bi ene dia two screens no so no. This is surveillance camera dia two screens no so. Na me no ka say na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama at a recent gathering and odi akwa to just say government put things in place very soon no Ghana ye the cameras bi sa back room has say sa cameras ye de ba no enye say bia ba ku mienu ana miensa debi plenty cameras as ye can cameras no over if any say 60,000 say tokuri bie mu camera ni bi wo ho send na be ya at the end of the day obi di boni a anase bibi to obi a enya afi na ye be pray ye ho ni ye kohwehwe database mu ni the nipa ni picture now. And have you seen this debi nipa ni di boni na aban ye be relax it because ye wo database ye be surveil sa nipa no na ye nkwa ha se ni ye hwe or see 60,000 surveillance cameras to be deployed nationwide. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and this answer we etuja we a city news for reports on the buy based on Mahama's recent engagement and in some of the betuja. Also, President John Dramani Mahama has announced the deployment of 60,000 additional surveillance cameras nationwide as part of a major initiative to modernize Ghana's national security and intelligence infrastructure. It is here, and according to John Dramani Mahama, the entire of these cameras we ever is because he wants to make sure that Ghana, your security, your national security, be modernized and also need to meet the intelligence infrastructure. Again, or try to say the announcement was made during the launch of the Regional Signals Bureau in the Volta region on Friday, 5th December 2025, reaffirming the government's commitment to investing in technology and capacity building to strengthen intelligence operations. It is say no, your NSB, which is the National Signals Bureau, that's on the national level for the whole Ghana, but the all sub regions and a region be more or the national or the friend is saying regional bureau signals bureau regional signals bureau and even RSB into regional signals bureau no the national signals bureau ase into kamya kwese USA your FBI and local police authorities and BNI any other security service various region it no bro mu launch Volta region for regional signals bureau Volta region no and on this answer to just also as part of our long-term vision to modernize national security, government is investing in technology, infrastructure, and capacity enhancement across the intelligence sector. These investments include deploying 60,000 additional surveillance cameras nationwide, installing 500 new 4G and 5G communication sites, upgrading the integrated national security communication system, and using advanced analytics and artificial intelligence, President Mahama stated. So aside from these 60,000 cameras which will be deployed, surveillance cameras will be deployed nationwide, they are also installing 500 new 4G and 5G communication sites. These particular ones will enable the security services to transport and also transmit data to and fro. Apart from that, they'll also be using advanced systems and analytics artificial intelligence AI. Osaso Trial said he also revealed plans to construct a new Delta surveillance and cyber defense center at Accra, which will serve as the headquarters for the National Signals Bureau, while regional command centers will be expanded across the country to improve coordination among security agencies. So that is exactly what Mahama is saying. Say you be BBSA and draw various regions. At the end of the day, the National Signals Bureau, which will be in Accra, will coordinate with the local regional bureau and the regional signals bureau and other centers. Or some try to say, according to President, the upgrades will enhance collaboration among intelligence and security agencies, safeguard digital and financial systems, and strengthen Ghana's ability to respond swiftly to emerging threats. The launch of the National Signals Bureau marks a significant step in leveraging modern technology for national security, ensuring Ghana is prepared to address both physical and cyber threats. So that is in summer, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Odituja. Now, apart from that, and at that particular same event too, President Mahama, he sent a clear warning to criminal networks here in Ghana. And according to John Dramani Mahama, or Pache say, Sisiano, Ghana is moving so fast. Ama Sisiano, or the a year 40 a year armored cars. Abba, as a particular armored cars, it will be aimed at actually combating crime in this particular country. And you know, or can say these organizations or mere criminal enterprises are a mere armed robbery, fraudulent activities. Anyone more galamsia, a police for bar, no more for AK-47, no more pump action. No, they should be very ready because Mahama is actually amplifying and also tooling or retooling these security agencies to meet these people head on. Yenko tie eye in Sema Mahama Edituja and how he even delivered this particular armored vehicles in the first place. Among for patches that this actually is a step in the right direction. Yenko show video where when we come back, we will actually continue with this particular update in regards to what is really happening in Mahama's camp and how he is retooling and also giving the national security more tools to work.
Amen. Upon assumption to the reins of power and a promise to reset his focus largely on security and how to maintain the peace of the country, a major boost to policing, law and order, and lasting peace have been on the minds of the president. For President Mahama, crime rate has seen some significant low turn despite some major concerns.
Our highways are getting safer because you've taken on the highway robbers and you have dealt with them. People who rob banks, attack people's residences, you have chalked many victories in bringing them to justice. Let me commend the CID too. In the past, there were many unsolved murders. I'm happy to note that recently, many of the murders that occurred with good police intelligence, you've been able to bring the suspects to book.
The first batch of 40 fully armored and combat ready, John Mahama sends a stern warning to criminals.
Let me state clearly, our dear country Ghana will not surrender a single street, a community, or any public space to criminals today, tomorrow, or forever. To those who insist on disturbing the peace of our nation, whether through armed robbery, organized crime, illegal arms trafficking, or gang activity, our message is simple. The Ghanaian state is ready. The Ghana Police Service is ready. The laws of this republic will deal decisively with anyone who endangers the safety of our people.
Inspector General of Police Christian Tete Yohonu touted the police readiness to combat crime without fear or favor, with a gesture being a moral booster for the men in uniform.
So this was exactly what really happened. We'll come back your way somewhere around 6 p.m. with another live. Thank you so much for watching.